Yo, it's Triggs and Triggs, the mic's on fire. Packers and Raiders, gridiron desire. Fantasy stats, debates that ignite. No debate sports, we talk all night. Triggs throwing shade, arguments ignite. Metrics crunching numbers, playing it right. Raiders in the black, metrics repping the shield. Triggs yells, Green Bay, cheese head revealed. Fantasy drafts, stacking the racks. Metrics got charts, Triggs talk smack.
Let's roll.
That's probably let's roll.
That's how you
How's
do
life?
it. Going good, man. Going good. Yeah, my non-sports life is getting a little bit better outside of here. So yeah, a little more chill in the 9-to-5er. But yeah, other than that, doing some sports betting, doing some fantasy drafting. Man, I got my ducks in a row. We're ready to roll.
Wait a minute. My bad. You didn't even do the intro.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So I'm Steve Metrics, and that's your boy.
DJ Triggs.
And together, that's No Debate Sports, and we are here on a Labor Day, bringing it to you live because, man, it is the week that the NFL season begins, and we had to get at it. This is the week, and, man, I tell you what, I had a fantasy draft yesterday, and I laid some pretty big sports bets today.
Ooh.
That's no debate. Like, we're talking real cachet, and we're talking real, not life-altering, but, like, putting you in a good spot, changing money if these things hit.
Right. So I have a fantasy draft in, like, 2 hours because someone wanted to schedule it at 9 o'clock. If you're watching, shake an old man fist at you. But, yeah. I literally did so much work in the world of sports. I mean, like, obviously we want to do picks. We want to see who's this and that, season preview, whatever else. But, like, man, it's been bananas. Absolutely.
It has been bananas. And even in my 9-to-5er, news dropped kind of right before I started my shift. And it greatly influenced how I did a certain future bet for today. Wait.
News drop today?
No, this was a news drop late last week. It impacted your team.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. I know.
Big time news.
Excitement.
Yeah. And I think that is a massive game changer. I truly think it's massive. To be honest, it's like the second or third most important position. It's probably the third most important position on a football team.
I mean, you can argue, yeah. At least I think maybe the most important position on defense.
Oh, easily. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that is, to me, my only positions ahead of it are two certain offensive positions.
Oh, what are those?
Quarterback and offensive line.
Ooh.
And in terms of money,
left tackle?
Yeah, probably left tackle for a right-handed quarterback for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Quick question. How many left-handed quarterbacks are there in the NFL?
There are deuces. There is Michael Penix and Sir Tua Tagovailoa.
Wow. Man, the fact that you just came up with that like that, and I was about to Google it, and I'm like, I don't even need to Google it. Metrics knows.
That's no debate.
But yeah, we're talking in code. But I mean, the jury's out. I am like, oh my gosh, I'm so amped. I mean, you were on the other side of a trade like this a handful of years ago with Khalil Mack going to the Bears. That obviously didn't hurt anybody, and then he ended up with a whole nother team. So, like, you guys got some picks out of it, which worked out a little bit. But it's one of those things that I push this narrative every year. I do it for the Bucks, the Brewers. The Brewers are a little different, but the Bucks, the Packers. I mean, if someone in hockey will listen to me, I'll pitch it to them too. But the Packers are literally in that bottom tier of picks, the bottom 10 every year. I mean, yeah, there's a year here and there, like the Jordan Love year and the transition right before, and, things like that. But 9 times out of 10, the Packers are in that 20, 25, 30 range. Like, why not just move those picks? Because then you don't have to pay first round money. They're basically a second round pick. So like this is like a steal. I mean, yeah, we gave up Kenny Pickett. He's been here a decade. But if you know, huh?
Wait, Kenny Pickett. Wait, you have a guy named Kenny Pickett?
I'm sorry, Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark. You're right. Yes. Messing up names because I'm so excited. It's like the first time I get to talk about this, which is dope. But you look at it from the other side. Kenny Clark, Pro Bowl defensive tackle. I mean, really good in the middle, eats up stuff. He doesn't give you the big stats like an Aaron Donald or somebody like that. But Kenny Clark is one of those guys. He comes and does his job. He plays every game. It's very rare that you see the guy hurt. And like I said, Pro Bowl type player. But he's about to hit that 30 line. I want to say he's 29. He'll be 30 when the season starts. And if you look at the Packers squad, they don't give anybody a contract after 30. Kenny Clark might have been a casualty next season, and literally they just were like, "Here you go, you take him, pay him for the next portion." I believe it was a little over 10 million. I want to say, just off the top of my head. You give Micah Parsons this huge deal, and the money's coming out the wazoo. Well, guess what? Someone asked me this the other day when it happened. Hey, where did the Packers get all this money? Well, they were top 5 in salary cap still left. They had like 37 million still left. And again, if this wouldn't have happened, just like every other year, the Packers would have sat on that 37 million. Somebody would have put it in the pockets, probably Mark Murphy or somebody like that. And it would have been like, oh, well, why don't we spend any of this money?
I don't think that's how it works with salary cap money, though.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm making a joke because that's what every other Packer fan says. Oh, man, Mark Murphy and those guys just put it in their pockets. But literally, I mean, every year we have like 15, 20, 30 million just sitting there where you're going, like, did they know this Micah Parsons trade was coming? Maybe. I mean, if you heard from Reddit, did you hear the story from Reddit?
I just know, but I mean, I don't know too much. All I know is that basically Dallas was definitely shopping Micah Parsons within the last week.
Yeah.
For sure. At least the last week.
Someone on Reddit said they were getting like a massage or they were getting treatment or something. And someone goes, oh, yeah, that Micah guy, just like not even knowing really who he is just like, oh, yeah, I guess he's getting a new contract or, he's waiting on his money or something, blah, blah, blah. But the deal's done. And so this person gets on Reddit, like drops some info and people are like, who is this weirdo? So they start searching through the guy's like Twitter feed and all that. And he doesn't say anything like ever. And most of the things he says are pretty just like off the cuffs. Like, you're like, who is this weirdo? And the weirdo was right. He literally knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, when I came off of work that night, got home, was here in the morning, and I had NFL Network or ESPN on. I had one or the other. And I had confirmation from that person speaking that Micah Parsons was in Green Bay to get his back treated. And never in the history of pro sports has anyone flown to Green Bay for medical remedies ever from a different franchise, anything crazy like that. So normally you'll hear about stuff going to LA, New York, Florida, Europe. That's where these things happen, not Green Bay. So the moment I heard that, I realized that was fake news and that this was a negotiation at the very least. This was either a signing or a negotiation. And you are definitely, if you're Green Bay, you are definitely doing everything you can to make him sign before he walks out that door. And they definitely got him to sign.
Right. And that's the thing is like the deal might have been done. From what I heard, Jerry Jones just wanted a high profile defensive tackle, and that he was willing to give up the man.
Whether he's playing football for the Dallas Cowboys or whether Trey Hendrickson is playing on defense for the Cincinnati Bengals, those two defenses are still atrocious. I saw it with my Raiders in the last handful of years when our defense was basically just Max Crosby for a given moment in time until Antonio Pierce started to work that team the way he wanted to. And at that point in time, it's like, you got nothing. And luckily, Antonio Pierce started to bring some players in, build that team up a little bit, and make that defense legit. But if you just have one edge rusher who's just dynamite and you have nothing beyond that player, it's not worth having that player on your team. You have to flip them. Even on the offensive side, when Carolina flipped Christian McCaffrey, same scenario.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Adam Thielen. No.
Yes. But I do like that he's in Minnesota. That's cool.
I do too. I mean, it's a nice little homecoming. But
oh, totally. Yep.
I didn't know where that was
my
going.
slot receivers. I think I got a slot receiver on every one of my fantasy teams.
How many fantasy teams do you have?
Just two. Well, we'll go into the one I drafted.
Oh, I mean, no time like the present. Who'd you draft? What do we got?
All right, so I had a 10-team league, and this was a super flex team, which to me tells me straight up that you got to be thinking two quarterbacks because they are the highest point scorers in fantasy football. And with that being the case, I was the second overall pick. So
wow.
that changes things. For me being that highly, granted, to me, I think the best player for fantasy football, just like total point scoring wise, to me is straight up Lamar Jackson. My strategy was, if I'm drafting this high, though, there's too much like cream of the crop that if I go Lamar Jackson, I'm literally giving up first round to draft Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
And when you have two quarterbacks, I don't think it's that valuable. So, I wanted Lamar Jackson. If I was further back in the initial round, I would have definitely made that happen. But being so far up, I was like, well, if I can get this to rope-a-dope back to me in round 2, then we totally take Lamar Jackson. That was my whole strategy. I had to take someone up top first. I just thought it was a bad play. And I kind of saw that with this guy's team is there's definitely a talent plateau, and then it just kind of goes off the cliff. I've looked at that guy's team that drafted Lamar Jackson. Granted, he's projected for a lot of points, but man, you get 1 week where Lamar Jackson gets stopped, he will feel an impact on that because the rest of his like power core players isn't so hot. So this is how I did. Being the second overall pick, for me, the number one player beyond Lamar Jackson for fantasy football that you can get to me is flat out Jahmyr Gibbs. With you having a transition going on the offensive coordinator side with Detroit, and the fact that they're getting so many people back on defense, they're going to figure out a way that if they're leading in games, they're going to try to put games away with the run game. And Jahmyr Gibbs is just a weapon, straight up. He is playing as if it's Christian McCaffrey in his prime. Watch the guy play, watch the guy take reps, see how he cuts on the field and how he interacts with the passing game. He is a bolt of lightning out of the backfield, and he can just kind of explode at a moment's notice, has little tread on the tires. Basically, him and Josh Jacobs are like the two guys out of Alabama recently that have had like very little tread coming out of that school as running backs. I love the situation, man. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is just in a great situation. Now, could Detroit get a lot of wins this season? I don't know. I don't think so. I think their schedule is ridiculously tough. and I don't see things going quite well for them. But that defense being back to me really changes things, and I want to have that run game. And yeah, Jamar Chase is good, but Jahmyr Gibbs scores in two different methods. Jamar Chase only catches a football. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Gibbs had 20 total touchdowns and 2,000 yards almost. So,
oh my.
Yeah, that sounds like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, I didn't even know that number. I was just going off of what I know and kind of how he grew as a running back throughout that season. And I'm like, man, Jahmyr Gibbs is just stepping up, getting better and better. Kind of reminds me of like the rise of Alvin Kamara with the New Orleans Saints when he kind of really stepped up and took over for Mark Ingram, similar to how Gibbs is doing that with David Montgomery. Montgomery is still a nice goal line back, but there came a point where Kamara really stepped up and really kind of made Ingram step back and no longer be that number one ball carrier. And to me, that's flat out going on with Detroit with Jahmyr Gibbs. I tried to get David Montgomery later in the draft, but I had him valued for the the third. So I had the first round pick, and then I had my 2-3, and then like the 4-5. I was thinking that 4-5 rope-a-dope was when I wanted to draft David Montgomery. But someone took him before then, and that was, to me, a little too expensive. But having the number 2 pick, this is where, like, the team just went nuts. My second-round pick, to me, was the best wide receiver in fantasy football that you can get this year, and I do not think that player is Jamar Chase. I do think Jamar Chase is awesome. I might have him probably the number 2 overall wide receiver. But for me, I can't think of anything like this. Wait, who? What are you saying?
I said Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he ain't the only one on my team that you're about to find out. Flat out the best wide receiver in fantasy football this season should be Brian Thomas Jr. I think Brian Thomas is just in a crazy, crazy cool situation. Doing what he did last season with Trevor Lawrence not being the greatest, to me, kind of spoke volumes of this guy. And then you lose Christian Kirk and you lose Evan Ingram, and then you draft a two-way player that we don't even know if that guy's good at defense. Like, I want to see that guy actually like step up and be a shutdown. Like, is he like Sauce Gardner, or is he not? Because if he's not at Sauce Gardner quality, then he's definitely going to have to focus on that. So a guy who plays both ways is not going to steal volume from Brian Thomas, who is a bona fide, straight up number 1 receiver on his team. People were even saying that coming out at LSU that he was better than Malik Neighbors, and I couldn't even believe that. I didn't even know who the guy was. There's just so much craziness I see around Brian Thomas that, like, that's the guy I want. I kept my eye on him. I kept my eye on Malik Neighbors. I had to go Brian Thomas. You're talking to bona fide one who doesn't even have to compete with targets. So the fact I got him in round 2, mind-blowing. And that's why people were taking too many quarterbacks in the first round. And the second round, I'm like, nah, I'm going to use my strategy that I used in our league for 24 teams. Oh, I'm playing in a league with 10? Great. I'll do whatever I want with quarterback at the end of this. So we go Brian Thomas. After that, round 3.
Wait, pause. Pause really quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm very puzzled on how did he make it to the second round? Like, I'm actually looking for like his ADP this year.
It's like 12 or something, right?
Like
he's you're 13th. Talking pick 18. I mean, you're talking I had him at pick 18.
Yeah, and the crazy part is he's going behind guys like Nico Collins and Puka Nacua, and as you just said, his target share is going to be insane. We don't know if Travis Hunter is going to be a number 2. We don't know how many offensive snaps he's going to play. Right. Yeah. And
we don't know.
Evan Ingram ended up getting moved. So, like, some of those targets, I mean, Strange at tight end could be really solid. He could be a sleeper that no one's talking about. But, like, he's not going to
good in the Green Bay game, too.
Right. He's not going to eat up what Evan Ingram ate up. Plus, Thomas is already getting a ton of targets. He had over, I want to say like 12 touchdowns or something like that.
Right.
And on top of that, he was he was in the top 5 of fantasy wide receivers. And that was with those extra pieces on his team. I just don't get it. I don't know how he's a second round pick.
Yeah. And for me, my 9-to-5 job, I'm an engineer and I have background in a different kind of field of engineering from what I'm in now. But someone displayed on Twitter an Ashby chart, which is a cool chart. Take 2 different properties, plot them against each other, and throw all these guys on there, and where they position themselves on these charts, XY coordinate. And when it came to yards per reception, and I think just overall receptions, Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors were way in the upper right. And this is over the last decade. We're talking these guys were in the stratosphere. I think OBJ was up there, maybe a Tyreek Hill season. These guys were way up in the upper right corner. And that was really cool to see that the rookie seasons, the 2 LSU guys killed it. And funny, I kind of think the top 3 receivers in fantasy, maybe even 4, are all LSU wide receivers.
That's insane. I just looked at the numbers. It was 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. He was number 4 in standard and PPR. Again, I don't know how that guy's going to the second round. I mean, even talking about a Puka Nacua, he's gonna have targets go to Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and stuff like that. Brian Thomas literally has nothing. His running back there's 4 of them. I don't even know who's going to be. Yeah, and they're questionable, right? The tight end is kind of questionable. Yeah, we like Strange. He's not a top 10 tight end by any means. I mean, he could be. He might be. But and then Travis Hunter again could be playing on defense. Don't let Brian Thomas get away from you. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, Brian Thomas to me is the scariest guy because too, I think almost half of those guys in the upper echelon, they also have major injury risks, half of them. So the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head that are truly healthy coming out of the gate are Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, and Jamar Chase. And CeeDee Lamb. I'll put CeeDee Lamb up there too. But other than that, you got guys who got some kind of serious, either already have had serious injury history or have kind of had stretches of missing some legit time that I'm a little concerned with. Thomas is nuts. So the fact I got him at pick 18 was pretty insane. Pick 22, I want to say I got Brock Bowers, my guy. I'm you know what? Let's just let it loose. Let's go for it. Let's just get my guy. I mean, I'm playing with George Kittle in our league. I like it, but I want to mix it up. Let's go Brock Bowers. So I got the guy just wide open there.
That's another one where he's a top 15. His ADP is 15 right now. So again, second round pick. You got him in the third. I don't understand how I got. Now I understand it's a super flex and you want to get your quarterbacks and stuff like that. But as we've learned with playing in a 2014 league, you can wait on a quarterback and get another one. And those numbers together might give you some pretty big things. But I mean, Brock Bowers he's literally
So your boy DJ Triggs is having a little Wi-Fi issues at the moment. But I'll just kind of keep going down my team. So round 3, Brock Bowers was pretty intense. Round 4, round 5 came around. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, we gotta kind of fortify running back. We don't want too many good running backs to go by. and we also don't want too many wide receivers that like we think are like just straight bananas pass us by. So anytime we see any
did you lose me?
I did for a hot minute, but your boy is back. So I kind of got you. You're kind of in the digi, kind of 8-bit. If we were playing like Super Nintendo, he gone. That's debate. That's a lot of debate. So came back to round 4, and I was thinking about what am I going to go for. One of the guys who I liked last season, who I really like this season, he finished his contract. It's done. His team's bona fide. That offense has stepped up to another level since they've established the run game. And to me, that's James Cook. Between him and his brother, I've always enjoyed watching them. They both have breakaway speed that they can basically in one play, 80-yard touchdown, just gone. James Cook is a guy that I love to play with. Last season, didn't get that opportunity, so I went for it this year. So that was my round 4 guy that I was looking at, trying to see if anyone here shows up on my bench at this point. I don't think so. So for me, round 5, I was thinking wide receiver. I saw this name. I'm like, man, that's a name. I can't let that guy pass by for too long. I definitely don't like him as a person. I don't expect too much out of his team. But again, another guy that can basically 1-2 cut, gone. Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill's bananas. Had to get him. So that's what I got there. And then we rolled back to 6 and 7. So at this point, round 6, again, I'm thinking like banana players. Xavier Worthy showed up. I do understand how Rashee Rice fits into this, but again, too, a guy coming off an injury. I played with Xavier Worthy last year. Definitely had some games that were goose eggs, but you had some games that were solid as well. And you also had running production. So this is a two-way player that's at the wide receiver position and actually did some really good things for the Chiefs offense. And with Rashee Rice doing a 6-game suspension for reckless driving and also coming off a torn ACL, I do enjoy what is going to happen with Xavier Worthy. This is also a team that, to me, has kind of now had a failure at the run game. And there's going to be a lot more weight on Mahomes' shoulders to get this offense moving. And if you've watched Mahomes play lately, it's still not the greatest. It's a lot of dink and doink. And I think having a guy like Xavier Worthy to be spearheading that offense, ball leaves Mahomes' hands, I think is good to go with Worthy. So, yeah, I think Worthy is a phenomenal pick in round 5. I don't know if you caught it, but round 4, Triggs, I got Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Yep, I was listening.
There we go. So, yeah, Tyreek Hill is straight bananas. Xavier Worthy, to me, is just like him. So I saw those guys, and then I kind of knew from our draft, I knew how some of these players, especially with the running back position, how they were kind of working their way through the draft. Again, I do enjoy the 2 New York Giants running backs. I saw, what's his name? Tyrone Tracy. Saw him go off the board, so I'm like, all right, that game plan's gone. So we're not going that route yet. So I think at this point, I ended up going for my 2 back-to-back picks. This would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have been 6, 7. I think I went with Tyler Warren, and then I went Calvin Ridley.
Wow.
So, yeah, at this point now, I'm starting to fortify the bench a little bit. Calvin Ridley is bananas. He's going to be the number 1 guy for Tennessee. And word is Cam Ward and him are pretty much kind of in sync with each other, and they're making things happen. Tyler Warren, to me, is about the only good thing about the Indianapolis Colts. So I like that. And then we were looking 8, 9 at this point. So 8, 9 is where I'm like, okay, I drafted James Cook. Now I got to be sure to get his backup. So at this point, I got Ray Davis, his backup. And then I'm like, well, there's another team out there that kind of has both running backs kind of just chilling. So at this point, I go Quinshon Judkins from Cleveland.
Now,
and I'm definitely thinking his backup.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe get Jerome Ford when you can, if he's still out there.
I decided to go Dylan Sampson. I've seen Jerome Ford play a few times.
I like it.
I actually just don't think Jerome Ford is good. And I'd rather, if I burn out on this pick with Dylan Sampson and it turns out there is more Jerome Ford, I might get him. I might just cut Dylan Sampson and go for whoever the hot hand is on the fantasy waiver wire. But
Yeah.
I had to call my shot, and I've watched a lot of games. NFL Plus, man, like $7 a month. I'm telling you guys, go out, buy it. You can watch a game in a half hour, straight condensed game. I saw plenty of condensed games with Jerome Ford. I don't think he's good. I just flat out don't think he's good. So Dylan Sampson, the tape out of him coming out of Tennessee, I like him. I mean, I like him out of Tennessee. I like my receiver Deontay Thornton for my Raiders out of Tennessee, but he didn't show up on my team. So when I had those next picks come around, again, I got Dylan Sampson, and then we're talking like we're at the end of this draft at this point, and I'm like, well, I like tight ends and I like 12 personnel. Kyle Pitts, let's do it. So my tight end core is Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts.
There's literally, I mean, I don't even know what to say. There's not much you can say about that. Everyone says Kyle Pitts is going to do his thing. They have Drake London out there, but Darnell Mooney is like their number 2, and he's hurt literally all the time.
Yes.
Kyle Pitts might be the man as Michael Penix is out there slinging it.
Yes, and I have heard Penix has been interviewed, and he said basically Pitts is his guy. I mean, his first 2 progressions got to be Drake London and Kyle Pitts. They have to be. They're just 2 massive guys. You got Bijan Robinson running around somewhere on the field. But if you're looking for big, straight-up mismatch players, again, those Devontae Adams kind of prototypes out there in a player, I enjoy seeing those, and I'm pretty sure quarterbacks enjoy seeing them as well. So Kyle Pitts, to me, I mean, I don't even care if he is a bust this year. I still have Tyler Warren, and I still have Brock Bowers to do some damage ahead of.
It's insane. So what's your lineup then?
So I still got 3 picks left to finish the draft.
You're still okay.
Yeah, so I got 3 picks left to finish the draft at this point. So I'm thinking defense, kicker, and quarterback. I got a little spicy, but these guys I ended up dropping and acquiring for some other guys. Kicker, I was kind of thinking your guy from the LA Chargers, Cameron Dicker. But he was then selected ahead of me picking a kicker. So that playbook went out the window. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go with my guy, Evan McPherson, who I have in our draft from Cincinnati. I do think that they're going to score a lot of points. Do I want to go with a high-volume kicker in both leagues, or do I want to go with a dink and doink one? Again, I think my Raiders are still going to dink and doink, so I went with Daniel Carlson. So he's my kicker.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my last 2 positions were defense and obviously a quarterback. I went, and this is where I drafted, but then I changed after the draft. I took the Buffalo Bills defense, and then I took, just because, man, I really think this guy's going to do something, but I think I'm wrong on the timing. I went Jackson Dart. I'm like, I don't know. I like Jackson Dart, but I can flex out of this. So I did. I dropped Jackson Dart. I got Sam Darnold. I mean, I want another quarterback that can sling it and run. Darnold has that ability. And then for defense, I dropped, I saw the 3 letters underneath Buffalo's defense. I saw these 3 letters that were BAL, and I do not want those 3 letters underneath the name of my defense ever. Ever. So I don't want to be seeing those guys. I don't want to be seeing Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson at full strength to start a season. So I dropped Buffalo. They're gone. And then I checked the waiver wire, and it's kind of nice in a 20-team or in a 10-team league having 20 defenses on waiver. So I'm like, oh, there you go. There's that team that plays football in New Orleans. They don't have anybody. Their whole team is atrocious. They got a nice kick returner. Cool, but they have nobody that plays quarterback. and
Oh,
Alvin
boy.
Kamara's kind of getting banged up, and what was he going to do? They'll put like 8-9 guys in the box and stop him. So I took the Arizona Cardinals defense, and my plan is basically just go free Willy on the waiver wire for defense. Anyone that plays the Saints or Colts is my number one pick.
I mean, yeah. So run that down one more time.
All right, so starting lineup coming for. I didn't even tell you who my starting quarterback is.
Yeah, I was like,
at some point I drafted Trevor Lawrence. Combo him up with Brian Thomas. You got a little bit of legs. You got the you got the new coordinator. I went Trevor Lawrence at that point.
all right. I'm not completely against Trevor Lawrence. When we get in our divisional picks here, really quick.
Yes.
Yeah. Normally I'm against Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
But
I
it seems here-
I've watched so many games where I get so upset about how he plays quarterback and how he gets flustered when his offensive line lets him down. If they really are serious about Trevor Lawrence, they have to fortify the offensive line. Also, they have the way they've structured Trevor Lawrence's contract. They're stuck with him. They are literally stuck with him for like the next 4 years. They just re-signed his contract. There's no getting out of it. Green Bay can get out of Jordan Love should that be the case. Also good thing about the Cardinals. I know people that are fans of the Cardinals are a little bit heartbroken. Kyler Murray did actually make the 53-man roster for the Cardinals. He's another one that they're going to try to get out after this year. But week one matchup, I go against Kyler Murray. If they're winning convincingly against New Orleans, Kyler Murray week one ain't going to do too much later in the game. So I'm hoping that Arizona defense just like does their thing. I really think week one would be a great play for like James Conner and friends. Maybe even the tight end for the Cardinals as well. I see really good things for those guys week one. That's probably like the first player matchup that's kind of like screaming to me that good things should happen. Yeah, so that's kind of how we're playing it. So my lineup top to bottom: quarterback Trevor Lawrence, wide receiver 1 Brian Thomas, wide receiver 2 Tyreek Hill, running back 1 Jahmyr Gibbs, running back 2 James Cook, tight end number 1 Brock Bowers. The flexi position, we're gonna go, even though he's projected for slightly less numbers than Calvin Ridley, we're going Xavier Worthy. I think that's kind of crazy not to go Xavier Worthy in that spot. Super duper flex, we're going Samuel Darnold because he's a quarterback. Defense, Cardinals, kicker, Carlson. And then my bench is just chilling with Tyler Warren, Calvin Ridley, Quinshon Judkins, who is about to become ruled as healthy for the Cleveland Browns. Ray Davis backing up James Cook. Dylan Sampson backing up Quinshon Judkins. Both backs are on the bench. And finally, bench tight end Kyle Pitts. That's no debate.
That's insane.
That's
very
an
insane
team. Very insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of caught off guard about I thought Rashee Rice got drafted early in the draft. So I dropped the ball on that. That would have been a nice handcuff for Xavier Worthy if I would have caught that. I want to say Rice was drafted around like the late 80s. So if you're thinking about that for your leagues, if you're drafting Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice is going somewhere in the 80s.
Man, I'm just stunned by how. Don't they know that you're Steve Metrics? Like they're not supposed to give you certain players at certain times, and
yes,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, I knew, I was like, hey, like now's the time to hit him hard with Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my gosh, the rope-a-dope came around. Brian Thomas. Oh my gosh, the rope-a-dope is now leaving. Got to take Brock Bowers because he's the number 1 projected tight end in the game. And then after that, just all these other banana players just kind of fell into place. And we know that Cleveland's run game is going to be legit. And not only that, they're not going to face that pressure for like looking at so many guys in the box for these rookie backs because Joe Flacco has a friggin' howitzer. I mean, he's going to throw that ball out of the stadium, not necessarily going to be caught. That doesn't guarantee that it's not going to be intercepted, but he's going to sling that ball, and they got to put a lot of guys on defense to defend against that. So that makes me really enjoy what's going to happen with Cleveland, as well as they do have a pretty good defense. So this is going to be a team that, yes, they can just chuck it. I am a little concerned that, what's his name? Guy got cut again. What's his name? Deontay Johnson gets cut again. Like, yeah, something's really going on with that guy. So he's gone. I don't know who else is playing wide out on Cleveland, but the fact is that Joe Flacco can sling that rock. They still got David Njoku, a really great
Jerry Jeudy.
Yes, they have Jerry Jeudy, and then they also have Cedric Tillman, I want to say. They have a young wide receiver who's actually really, really good if you watch that guy play.
Hey, I'm just saying, Jerry Jeudy was a top 6 wide receiver in yards.
Yeah.
I'm down. Like,
last season?
For a late round pick, that dude's awesome.
So Jerry Jeudy was top 6 in yards last year?
I'm looking at it right now. 12-29 on 90 catches.
Dang.
Okay, this is going to sound insane. He and Brian Thomas are the only guys in the top 10 that had over 1,200 yards and were under 90 catches.
Jeez. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man. That just tells you, like, how much of an impact they make the moment the ball is in their hands is just insane. If there's any way that the ball can get them more volume going into next season, which Brian Thomas clearly has, it's bananas. Like the Jerry Jeudy pick that you're talking about actually would be a really great fantasy pick. And not only that, we know that Joe Flacco is the number 1 quarterback there. So, yeah, Jeudy will get fed. That's for sure. And also the loss of Deontay Johnson volume matters.
Yeah, it sucks. He only had 4 touchdown catches last year.
Yeah, I mean, there's too much stuff between injury and the guy being a head case that something's going on that now this guy's getting blackballed around the league, that there's clearly an issue going on with the guy after his amount of separation per play, which is so amazing with Deontay Johnson, that teams don't even want to deal with him. So clearly there's other issues that are in play here that makes it where Deontay Johnson is just no longer fathomable for NFL football or fantasy football.
Wow, that's insane. Hey, but speaking of NFL football, look at that transition. I'm really good at this sometimes.
Love it, man.
Let's talk division winners and where money has been thrown.
Yeah, so money has been thrown down by your boy here, Steve Metrics, and kind of was planning this out, kind of noticed some things. There is one division that, based on the math, I actually had to avoid. Kind of a darling sweetheart that we're going to talk about, but based on how the math shook up and when I was working these things through, I couldn't go with it. So I ended up doing my parlay thing here, and also kind of had to cut it in half for potential payout reasons that a certain casino is nervous about. But I like my chances here. So we'll talk about how this shakes out. I'm going to need 5 out of 7 divisions to go my way to get paid. Otherwise, the loss is not too bad. A little under $200 if this does not go bad, or if it does not go well.
Which divisions did you hit?
I hit every single division except the NFC South for good reason. For good reason.
Yeah, because we're in love. Our heart is in one place and our brains are in another place. Yeah. I agree.
And then my brain was like, oh man, like Atlanta doesn't have that good of a favorable schedule. And then I thought about the makeup of the team. And then I looked at their schedule again, and I'm like, oh, dang, like Atlanta might actually go on a nice little run as well, too. So, but then again, too, like, I just don't trust Raheem Morris as a coach. I like him as a defensive coordinator. I just don't like him as a coach. So that mind thought is going through my brain as well. So, yeah, this division is weird, man. And I have my concerns about the Buccaneers, although I like the Buccaneers, too. Weird division, man, and we know the Saints are trash, but like, man, this is a hard. I mean, I know that my team resides in a hard division as well, but I have a pretty good gut feeling about how I think this division can match up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. But when it comes to my AFC West division, the team I have out there winning is the team that I feel very confident about, as opposed to where my heart is in the NFC South.
Okay. I mean, yes. Like I don't know. So here, let me flip this page here really quick.
Oh, I love it.
This is how I broke down every standing. Like I won't go too deep into detail, but
I love it.
my brain's weird. But I literally don't nod at that. No.
I love that, man.
So I literally went through every team's schedule and I said, all right, how many games here, I'll even let you see it.
Ooh.
How many games are they guaranteed to win? And then how many games do they have like no shot? And then I evened out certain teams where, like, okay, I have no idea if you're going to beat this divisional opponent twice, which, by the way, in real NFL football, not fantasy football like we talk about a lot, that is really hard to do. So I sat there and then I go, okay. Then I evened out some of the schedule where I said, all right, you play, let's say you're, I don't know, I'm going to just make up something here, but let's say you're the Green Bay Packers and you play Buffalo and Baltimore twice, like once each. Do I think you'll beat both of them? Maybe not. Do I think you'll lose to both of them? I'm not really sure. So I just split it down the middle and threw them to the Wolves. So
that's how I do it.
All right. Let's do we want to start with the NFC South?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can start with the NFC South. Again, too, that's probably the division I went through the schedule of teams probably the most diligently.
Originally, my brain said, or my heart. I went with my heart first, and then I also went with my like schedule breakdown. So my heart said Buccaneers easily win this division, right? I wanted to go, man, because I mean, on top of that, they got the new wide receiver from Ohio State. On top of the two wide receivers they have, and I both love Bucky Irvin. And to be honest, I looked at some numbers. My man Bake Show,
he stepped up.
He probably could have been MVP. Just saying.
Or at least kind of in the running. I mean, for me, to be honest, I would have gone MVP Saquon Barkley.
Yes, agreed.
And then if we're talking quarterback MVP, for me, I just have no way to avoid. Clearly, the best quarterback last season was Lamar Jackson.
It was Lamar. I agree. Like 41-4 is pretty insane. But
and his quarterback rating was like almost 130 every game.
Not only that, he threw 100 less. All right, now I'm on the Lamar Jackson band. Like I fought for this guy all year last year, but he threw 100 less passes. He only had 200 to 300 less yards. He had 12 less interceptions than Baker. He had 900 rushing yards. There's no way this guy. I don't. All right. Well, anywho,
it was all narrative for Josh Allen,
right? I have no idea how Josh Allen, or in any way, shape, or form, got. All right, relax. Buccaneers. So I picked the Buccaneers, right? And I was originally going to take a wild card spot. Don't hate me. I was going to give it to the Carolina Panthers.
Right. I definitely think they're making noise this year.
I do too.
That's a sneaky team that you better be on your P's and Q's about. And for me, the reasoning is, I mean, I saw how worn down and tired Canales was last season. I mean, there were times he went to the podium where I don't even think he slept the night before. Like, he looked like a zombie. His eyes were purple. The guy was clearly in the lab figuring out everything of what he had to do to make Bryce Young good, which was a big time project. And not only that, he does have one of the crazier owners in the NFL. That guy, I mean, this is an owner that like threw beverages at fans last season. You have an owner that could easily just on a dime just say you're gone, And he also has, and that owner, Dave Tepper, is the richest NFL owner in the NFL as well. So yeah, tough sledding for that guy.
I'm looking at Carolina as an 8-9 team, maybe a 9-8 team. The reason why, like, listen to this schedule. This is nuts. The only teams that I can guarantee they lose to are Buffalo, Green Bay, Tampa at least once, and maybe the Rams. Like, where I'm for sure, like, okay, this I can understand if they lose, cool.
Yeah.
They play Jacksonville. You might have a chance. Arizona, Atlanta, New England, Miami, Dallas, the Jets. And I'll skip some of the teams that I've already named. New Orleans twice, Atlanta again, San Francisco, and that's week 12. You don't know if everyone's going to be healthy. You don't know who's going to be at receiver and what. And then Seattle. That's 11 games where they have a legitimate chance to probably beat that team.
Yeah, and they could probably get away with about 7 of those.
Yeah,
probably get away with 6.
I had them at 6. I had them at no, I think I had them at 5 of those.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
And I'm just like, and then if they split a couple of the games in the division,
yeah,
it's 8 wins, and that's a heck of a season.
It is.
In the end, I did only put the Buccaneers winning the division.
Okay. For me, I was kicking this around too, and I know you're talking about receivers and them being good and not the young ones being good. I'm a little concerned about this team on offense. I don't know. I get the feeling it's not going to be as smooth sailing as it was last year. I mean, I do like Bucky a lot, but I don't know. I just get a weird feeling about the Buccaneers this season. They could prove me wrong. I'd be okay with that. So yeah, I kind of stuck with my gut. I didn't like that. And I do really like Carolina. I do think, though, they have to figure out that defense quickly. But again, too, that's kind of an ailment of the offense being so choppy and ineffective last season. So I definitely wanted to go Carolina. Same thing, too. The schedule, very favorable. But then I thought about it. And for me, too, when it came to betting, the odds are just not too good enough and too favorable for me to pull this off for betting all 8 divisions. So for me, based on schedule, based on the fact that their offense improved, based on the fact that the defense should be solid, and this is a defensive-led head coach, I am going to take the Atlanta Falcons to win that division. However, I did not bet a single dollar, a single dime on the Atlanta Falcons winning the South.
Yeah, I was really worried about their schedule, to be honest.
It was true. I gave it a second look, though.
How about the NFC West?
So NFC West was a weird one where I know everyone got on board with the Rams early. Probably 2 months ago, I actually did bet the Rams to win the West. And then all of a sudden, probably within the last couple of weeks, we know Matt Stafford's had a banged up back. And people kind of fell back to earth and realized that maybe the Rams aren't that great on offense. Like, maybe they're not. So we'll see what happens there. There's parts of the 49ers that are a little choppy as well. I do like Brock Purdy. I do like the way he plays. I do like George Kittle a lot. I do feel Brandon Ayuk coming off an injury is going to be a nice addition as well. But this team is a little choppy. There's no sorry, never mind. Mixing up with another team. But yeah, this team's a little bit choppy. So I'm not feeling the 49ers as well. They do have one of the easier schedules. So I was looking at a team that's kind of balanced, kind of young, has a somewhat dynamic quarterback, and then also kicking around too that, like, if some of these quarterbacks go down, is the backup suitable? Could the backup bring something interesting? And could the backup actually be the future of the franchise if he's put into that role? And this team also has a defensive-led head coach, and I think they're kind of trending in the right direction. Again, I do really like the corner for this team to actually win the nickel, guy from Illinois, I want to say a year or two ago. But for me, I know there's packages that are similar to what Justin Fields did in Pittsburgh. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks.
Whoa.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. You would have asked me that a month ago, I wouldn't have done it. But after hearing some things, seeing how this team is built, knowing what I know, I can really see Seattle doing some really nice damage going into this season.
So I originally thought, again, I did one just, jot some name down, then do some runs and figure it out with my brain.
Yep.
So I originally was on board with the Rams, and then I said, okay, let me do some fishing here.
Yep.
Then I looked at the Rams schedule, and they have like 5 to 6 games where I'm just like, I'm not favoring the Rams in any of those. So right out of the gate, that takes away 6 games.
Right.
Now you've only got 11 to play with. What did I really think they could do with that 11? I ended up having them at 10-7 on the season.
Okay.
With just maybe sneaking out one of those really hard games. But I then said, okay, let me look at some of the offseason moves and the shaking and stuff like that. And believe it or not, I really like the 49ers.
Okay.
So
yeah,
they were one of like, let's see here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams where I did not guarantee losses on their schedule.
Oh, interesting.
So I'll run down the schedule, and you might go, hey, okay, I think that team can beat them, but it's a toss-up no matter what. So Seattle, New Orleans, Arizona, Jacksonville, the Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Houston, New York, the Giants, the Rams, Arizona, Carolina, Cleveland, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Chicago. Like, those last like 5 or 6 games, they could just run all of them off and go into the playoffs like hot. So I took the 49ers to win that division, but the other one that I took was the Arizona Cardinals. Now, we look at that and we might go, oh man, that guy's a little nuts. But they also had a schedule where they had the second most like guaranteed wins in my eyes, where I was like, okay, I mean, they're only behind Tampa Bay for some of the numbers that I was crunching. And I'm like, okay, I think this might actually be a wild card team. So I'm taking the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals.
I mean, I fully despise Kyler Murray, so I
do too.
I will spite not pick anything good for Arizona except for their defense this upcoming week. So yeah.
Only 3 teams on their schedule like make me shake my head a little bit. That's the Bengals, Tampa Bay, and the Green Bay Packers. Everyone else it's almost exactly like that 49ers schedule where I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They might swing through this.
Right. And that's a thing, too, that I kind of brought back to note that things are a little more favorable for Minnesota Vikings fans compared to Chicago Bears fans, is that the Vikings will play the Seahawks, whereas the Bears will play the 49ers. And to me, kind of my gut tells me that I would rather kind of play Seattle than play a pretty motivated 49er team this upcoming season.
So you want to hit the North? As that sounds like you want to hit the North.
I do. But one other thing about the Niners, I do think this is going to be a good Brock Purdy season. I felt last year was going to be a tough season for him, and I felt that season would build him into this year. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. So speaking of teams that I did not think they had a game on their schedule for that made me go, oh, that's a guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
The NFC North had 2 of those teams. That was the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. And I also had 6 guaranteed wins between the 2. So it's like it was almost a complete toss-up for me. So I do have the Packers taking the division and then the Lions being the wild card team. But a half a game, maybe a game or so, is what I saw the difference. And I'm like, okay, I might be able to take Green Bay in an extra game. So I put them a little ahead of the Lions. Besides that, I don't think Chicago or Minnesota really has a chance.
Yeah, for me, and I did think things kind of changed once I kind of looked a little more at the Minnesota schedule, kind of in depth. But they were my initial pick to win the division, and this is pre-Adam Thielen deal as well. I like the direction that team's going. This is a team that is coming off of last year with the second best defense in the NFL. I'm just kind of at a loss, though, where I do think the teams that take a significant step up between Minnesota and Chicago, I do think the Micah Parsons thing truly does change that. That's a real wrench in the future of how your offense is going to be able to work their way against a defense like Green Bay. It's a problem. So to me, I really only thought that the NFC North, to be honest, would really come down between Minnesota and actually Green Bay. I look at Detroit's schedule. It's murderer's row, man, and it starts off tough. And boy, you hit week 2, and it's going to be revenge for Ben Johnson against his former team. And then week 3, they go to Baltimore and play that monstrosity, which Lamar Jackson I think has only lost 2 games to NFC teams in the regular season in his entire career. So Detroit's got a tough schedule, man.
I do look at Detroit's, but I mean Minnesota's isn't much better. They're running through that same gauntlet, and it's like the Green Bay Packers of all the teams actually got lucky for being the third best team. It's like they're playing that third schedule and like more guaranteed wins than both of those teams.
Yeah, and kind of knowing what I know, I truly believe Green Bay is the best team with a third place schedule in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I got to take Green Bay. And you're going to have you should have a healthy Jordan Love throughout the significant amount of this season. I know he is kind of weird in the clutch at times, but man, he can sling it. He can absolutely sling it. He has an arm, a total arm. So that's something that I want to see out of a franchise quarterback. He makes some absolute dynamite throws. I got to roll with that. Josh Jacobs is my guy as well. I really, really like Green Bay. I had to go with Green Bay to win that division.
Makes total sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for the East?
NFC East. So granted, I did like Washington kind of early on for a while. Then this Terry McLaurin stuff got weird, and then got to kind of peel behind the candelabra to see that Jaden Daniels was so in tune with Terry McLaurin that this is a second-year quarterback. Defenses are going to figure out ways to deal with Terry McLaurin and force Jaden to go elsewhere. I think that's going to change. Somehow defenses figured out what to do against CJ Stroud, whatever that was, and he seriously regressed. Although Stroud is a pocket guy, Daniels can do it all. So it will get better, but there will be regression. The other thing, too, that concerns me is for the duration of Dan Quinn being a head coach, outside of the Super Bowl year with the Falcons, where they just collapsed against Tom Brady and the Patriots, Dan Quinn, to me, has always had his defenses getting worse. And I have heard there are some good acquisitions coming to Washington this year. I want to say, what's his name? The hothead guy that won Defensive Rookie of the Year alongside Alvin Kamara, both on the Saints back on the day. This guy is now with Washington. Washington made a few other nice free agency moves that I like, but I got to see it, man. It's got to produce. Dan Quinn basically every year as a head coach, minus that Super Bowl season. To me, I've always seen his defenses get worse, and that is completely the opposite of him being the DC in Dallas and being the DC in Seattle. So sometimes when these DCs become head coaches, they kind of lax on their own side of the game, and their defenses get worse. I mean, I even saw it even with Antonio Pierce when he became like the head guy. The Raiders defense kind of took a step back for a moment. So I'm a little concerned with that. It's a pattern that I've seen across multiple teams. So I'm concerned about that. So now with my brain being in a good spot, I'm going to stick it with the team with the best front line and the best defensive line. I'm going Philly.
Same. So I was looking at the same thing, and then as I was going through more stuff with Washington and obviously the T Mac stuff, and um, it came down for me for
No
that
Brian
wild
Thomas.
card spot. Yeah,
Brian Thomas
and
in
the
San
trade.
Francisco.
Yep. It came down to, did I want Washington or did I want the Rams? So for me, between San Francisco, Arizona, uh, LA, and Washington, they were all within a point or one win of each other in my point system. So
Sure.
like I basically said, hey, it's a coin flip. I'm not gonna have three NFC West teams. And I ended up putting the Commanders in as my third and final wild card.
Okay, interesting. Um, man, the Washington thing for me is kind of weird. One of my guys at work, it's Mark. You've met him a few times, and you know him. Mark has pointed out to me that he really thinks that Washington is going to be about a 500 football team this season.
I'm almost there. They can either be a fringe playoff team, like I just said, or like 8 to 9 wins.
Total miss.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with my gut and knowledge from you and Mark. I'm gonna say that team is a total miss. And there are other hot teams like a San Francisco that you point out. I do think at least one other NFC North team is getting in, possibly two. I'd say 1 to 2 NFC North teams as wild cards, and I don't know if they're going to get there. But then I think you got a little bit of noise that could come from Carolina. Possibly only 2 NFC South teams making a little noise, and then I would also watch out for the Giants. I don't have them in the playoffs, but do I think the Giants can make a serious push for at least the 8th position, which doesn't make the playoffs? I think they're going to be right around that mix.
I just don't like that and this is the reason why, like I liked everything I was reading and seeing and hearing, but the Giants, they play Kansas City, Philly twice, Green Bay, Detroit, and Washington twice, and I'm like, that's 7 games right there where I don't think they really have a shot. So
it'd be hard to win any of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if they win 2 of those,
then there's a problem.
That's a big step. And for me too, this is also on the back. Now they have like David Tepper's the craziest owner in the NFL with the Panthers. What's his name? Mara with the Giants is like the chillest. He is the chillest. I mean, you saw it. I saw it on Hard Knocks. I'm shocked that these guys who are at the higher ups for the Giants are still employed between the GM and Dable, as much as I like Dable. But for me, my reasoning on that is they're going to pull the plug after that tough stretch. They're going to pull the plug on Russell Wilson, and then they're going to go to Jackson Dart after that.
They should. Do you have like an NFC representative in the Super Bowl? Do you have a pick of that nature?
Yeah, so at this point, kind of thinking how things could play out. I know things went really well for Philadelphia last year. I still think somehow things could kind of come up a little bit short in the playoffs. And then just kind of thinking how things are in the NFL beyond that. My Super Bowl representative out of the NFC, because to me at this point, they only have to take down an NFC West team, which is legit, and the NFC South team. I got to go Green Bay. I really do.
So I wanted to go Green Bay, but I didn't want to be the homer. So I just went with a safe Eagles or Bucks pick.
I've heard Bucks as well.
I think the Bucks can outscore the Eagles. So that's the only I'm going to go with the Bucks.
And the young talent Baker is like doing his thing. And defensively, we know they're going to be sound. The Bucky Irving void factor to me is like another thing that second-year Bucky Irving is just going to take off. The guy did so much off of so little volume last year. That's fair. That is totally fair.
Can I tell you guys a secret?
What you got? No,
Green Bay
nobody's listening. Nobody's Nobody's. I mean, I'm seeing a nice number up top in the corner that is really nice. And thank you for every single one of you people. You guys are great. Follow and subscribe us on that little scroll right there. We greatly appreciate, on top of appreciating everything being here. And what's that secret, you boy?
Green Bay Packers.
There it is. There it is.
Just saying.
I mean, just saying. Like that's quite the pick there.
I know that was a secret. So
Let him cook! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Yeah,
sometimes he's got to cook. Sometimes you got to cook.
I drafted James Cook in fantasy. He's absolutely fantastic. Get that guy from the Bills if you can get him. He's great.
So AFC North, what do you got?
AFC North, to me, there's a few of these that I look at. I'm like, man, they're just slam dunk picks. I got to go with them, kind of like Philly. I got to go with Baltimore Ravens. Now, if there is an injury to Henry or Lamar Jackson, probably going to change things to a degree. It may or may not, but I'm just going to ride this team. This is a consistent team, great ownership, great management. Absolutely taking the Ravens.
Pittsburgh Steelers. No, I'm kidding.
I'll put them right at the bottom of the NFL, man. I am straight up putting them
right now.
5 NFL 2026 draft. There's a reason why that draft is in Pittsburgh next season.
Whoa, wait a minute. Timeout. Flag on the play.
I'll put that in my pocket.
All right, I'm gonna let you in on a little bit of dealing here. I don't have the Steelers making the playoffs, but they were that close. So one of my picks is going to surprise you, and you know that I hate that team. So, Baltimore, and then also on this level, I'm throwing in the Cincinnati Bengals because their schedule is kind of sneaky, a little sneaky.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, part of me thinks that they could make it. The defense is atrocious, but also part of me knows that, like, there hasn't been any games played. We actually don't know what that defense really does look like until we see it.
7 games within 7 points, I think the number was last year.
And they got hosed out of that Charger game. Like, just saying, anyone that watched that LA Charger game against the Bengals, complete, the fix was in.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I've got them probably taking 4 of the first 6.
Interesting.
And to get on a hot start like that, and then to end the season with Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland, that kind of gives you a little bit of a bump, you know?
That does. That's a 3-0 right there.
Yeah. Hey, just saying. Anything can happen.
No, that's
and great those boys up in the North, either AFC North or NFC North, they play it tough.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they are the most black and blue divisions in the NFL by far. The NFC West, they can call their shot as well to a degree. But you really get good football in both those divisions.
What do you got in the South?
I was like, man, let's roll the dice. Got to roll the dice a little bit on these divisional picks. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. Part of me, and again, too, like DeMeco Ryans, head coach, Texans D, kind of takes a step back. A little concerned about the direction of that team. I'm going with the Titans. Like, I'm hearing some stuff. I know the Titans took a left tackle from the Steelers. Cam Ward looks good. Ridley, I'm rolling with. If I'm wrong in this pick, I can live with it. I'll take my shot with the Titans. And again, too, one of the greatest defenses in the NFL. Like, completely underrated. Knowing about that defense. Probably like a 4th place schedule, I'm thinking. I will gladly roll with the Titans. And if they come up a little short, that's okay, too.
Absolutely. Like, the thing about the Titans is Tony Pollard's been getting all the first team carries. Like, they are banging this dude into the ground. He does pretty well with the ball. We talked about Calvin Ridley earlier in fantasy portion of our show. Like, I really, really like Aneka Kongwu. Just like saying their name. Like
he was
stud.
actually if I couldn't get Pitts, I was going to get him.
Yeah, stud, tight end there. So I really wanted to just dip my toe in the water. So this division is the only division I don't have a double-digit winner in it.
So now the AFC South is going back to being the so-so South.
I think it's definitely not the dirty. It's just get them out of here.
Yeah. Are the Jaguars going to be sporting those like black and yellow helmets now that they're like kind of in a bad AFC South again? Or
they should. They should. I like those helmets.
I kind of did too. But that was definitely the era where the AFC South was truly at its worst.
Yeah. So every win total was within 1.5 of 4-1. I almost picked Tennessee. My heart was like, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I hate that team with a passion.
They gotta show it to me, man. They really gotta show it. I can't pick that team at all except for fantasy players.
No, I don't hate them in general, but like every, talking head everywhere wants them to be so amazing, and Trevor Lawrence, right?
And Travis Hunter hasn't defended anyone good ever.
Like it's all hype team. Except if you listen to the first 20 minutes and we hyped up a wide receiver, totally fine hyping that guy. Totally fine.
Legit. That guy is like scary. And and most people don't even know his name. Most people don't even know what he looks like.
Oh, I thought that was the guy that got traded to San Francisco. Nope, not the same guy. Not the same guy. But we're not going to touch that one. So I did just to be that guy, I just defaultly, I don't even know if that's a word, gave it back to the Houston Texans. I almost said the Tennessee Oilers. I don't know where I was going with that. Same team.
I definitely like it. Definitely like it. But for me, it was only between the Titans or the Texans.
All right, so we're on to the East. This one's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, this one to me is a slam dunk. Buffalo Bills. I do like the Jets. I do think the Patriots will have success despite me absolutely hating that offensive coordinator. But I do think the Bills will win it by far. And I do think the Jets and Patriots trend in the right direction. Miami will easily trend in the wrong direction. And I heard someone on the radio a few weeks back when training camps opened said he's going to make his rounds to most of the NFL training camps, but his first training camp he's going to go to, and he already knows the vibe there, is Camp Softy in Miami.
Wow.
I've been hearing so much bad stuff about Mike McDaniel's coaching that team and them not just having like any mojo whatsoever. We know what Jalen Ramsey's kind of subconsciously stated about them in an interview with the Steelers. The second atrocious, even with Jalen Ramsey. The Dolphins are just really, really bad, man. But Tyreek Hill, like, man, if you can get him, get him.
Yeah, I agree. I like Devon A-Chain a little bit in fantasy, but
totally. Like, but he's not healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always have fast, crazy running backs that get beat up.
Buffalo Bills.
That's their team.
And nobody else.
Buffalo Bills by far, and that's it. And that is also, of all the teams that I have here on my wager sheet, that is the most lopsided odds for a favorite to win a division at almost minus 300.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I would, for me, and again, too, betting real life. If you're really rolling in the deep, then it to me, it is kind of a deal. But if you're an everyday person, I wouldn't put down $300 to win $100. No, it would have to be, you're talking more digits onto that to make that like legit. If you're rolling with 30K, yeah, okay. But most people aren't. So I think it's better to roll with Buffalo in a parlay.
So yeah, Buffalo, we're just gonna skip that one. So
Yep.
now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the AFC West. I'm just gonna get this out of the way right away.
Yeah.
I'm changing my pick and I'm going partially with heart here. If you've noticed, I have only put up one wild card team in the AFC, and that's the Bengals.
Okay.
So I had two out of obviously we're going Kansas City Chiefs, right? Oh, wait, you made an eyeball at me. What? I really don't like the Chargers. And so I never want to root for the Chargers. And I'm never going to root for them anyway, but I don't even want them to win games. We talked about hype with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is team hype like 2.0.
And they don't even have a home stadium.
Right. Their coach is hyped. Their quarterback's hyped. They're this and that and this and that. And it's like, what? Like,
might not even be
why
the
are
best
they
quarterback from Oregon in that division.
Yeah. So I'm at a standstill because originally I had the Chiefs and Raiders. Then I went through a bunch of numbers and the Raiders fell out.
Yeah,
And the Broncos and Chargers both came in. So I'm at kind of an impasse. I actually don't think the Broncos are very good. But I also don't think the Chargers are very good. So I'm like, I really do believe. So literally, in my numbers, 1.5 wins from all between the first place and the fourth place team. They're all double-digit winners in these numbers. Yeah, I know it's bananas. And maybe that's where the AFC South wins go to is the West. But I'm like, what do I do here?
South? I'm totally oblivious to my own schedule. Do we cross paths with the AFC South?
I don't know. I just meant as in like there's no double-digit winners for the South, but they're
interesting.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, that is very weird. Again, too, I mean, I've looked at my Raiders schedule a few times despite not knowing it, and I do look at it. I'm like, man, there aren't too many scary games outside of the Washington Philly stretch.
So that's the thing for literally all three of those teams, Denver, the Chargers, and the Raiders. It's Washington and Philly are the only games I circled that I was like, okay, they're probably not winning these. But everything else is like, huh. I mean, just run through the Raiders here really quick.
Buffalo is on my schedule as well.
So the Raiders are New England, winnable. Yeah. The Chargers, let's say they split. Yeah, Washington, all right, let's say a loss. Chicago, that could be a win. Indianapolis could be a win. Tennessee could be a win. Okay, they lose to Kansas City. Fine. Jacksonville could be a win. Denver could be a win. Dallas could be a win. Cleveland could be a win. All right, the Chargers game, the Denver game, Philly game, they lose. They could beat Houston. They could beat the Giants. Like, where are there any like wrongs in that list except, Kansas City, Philly, and maybe Washington?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll go I could see 3 losses between Philly, Washington, Buffalo, probably a split amongst Kansas City. I think we can beat Kansas City as well, especially in a game minus Rashee Rice. We can do that. And location doesn't matter. Could be Arrowhead, could be Vegas. That's a moot point. It's kind of ironic. We're kind of stronger in Arrowhead and weaker at home against Kansas City. That's just the way it is.
This is the crazy part, because this is how Denver got into the playoffs.
Yep.
Whoever plays Kansas City in Week 18 is getting a free game.
Free game. Yep.
It's the Las Vegas Raiders.
Interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting that we are that team. For me, I mean, I think you do bring up a lot of great points. For me, knowing my own team, I am concerned about 2 things. I'm very concerned, even though we drafted him and yeah, he's cool. I am concerned about the run game. Raheem Morris is pretty much at the end of the line, and not too much receiving production, to be honest, until I see it between Genty and Zamir White. So I'm a little concerned about the run game, and I'm also very concerned about the first squad, like secondary. So man, I could be wrong, but I'm concerned about those two things legitimately. So I got to see how that plays out and prove me wrong. But for those reasons, I can't pick my own team to win the division. I'm going to stick by my guns by coaching, player progress. He is the second coming of Drew Brees. And knowing that this team did actually have the greatest defense in the NFL last season, and they have the elevation factor, they're going to have a good team makeup. Sean Payton's top 5 coach, possibly even higher. For those reasons, I'm sticking with Denver.
To win the division?
And it's plus 300 odds, so I like it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're
win
doing
the
it
division.
From a betting standpoint.
I think they can go toe-to-toe with Kansas City.
Oh, I'm not going to go that
a little bit betting standpoint, but flat out. But even the breakdown that you gave is spot on. I'm taking Denver because I know they can go blow for blow against everyone in this division. I almost see everyone in this division going 3-3 against each other. I think every team can split every game against each other, barring any health setbacks. So that's what I like. I do like my schedule with the Raiders. I thought last year was an easy schedule, but the team wasn't as good. This year is an easy schedule, and the team is better. So that makes a difference. So,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it for you. Okay. I'm getting rid of both the Broncos and the Chargers. Delete if you wrestling reference, but I'm putting in the Raiders as my third wild card team, and I'm adding the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boom.
Let him cook! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Wow.
Yep, cooking.
Yep. I didn't see that, man. I did not see that happening. That is very, very wild. Yeah, I'm definitely along the same kind of train of thought that you are. For me, though, I can't go Kansas City, and I have a few good reasons why. Travis Kelce, definitely going to be checked out. Run game is checked out. Mahomes' progressions downfield, also checked out. Also, weaker offensive line. Sure, you get Rashee Rice back. We don't even know what that's going to look like coming off of ACL. Probably coming off an ACL earlier than he should be because welcome to the NFL, early season, like welcome. And he does have this suspension. So it's kind of going to work, but I don't know, man. I got too many question marks on Kansas City. First place schedule. So I don't like that. And then for me, Denver is my go-to. I'm with you on LA. They kind of seem to me like a paper tiger where like a few things could easily go wrong and this team is out. Don't know what we're really going to see out of Najee Harris after he shot a firework in his eye. Omarion Hampton's a rookie. Justin Herbert's always kind of wonky. Lad McConkey outside the slot. There's nothing else on that offense. There really isn't. There's a bunch of guys who kind of show up, but this offense is kind of weird, kind of patchwork offense with the Chargers. For me, wild card wise, I got to go definitely AFC West. I think you're onto something. I'm to win the division, but could we be a wild card team? I could see it. There's at least going to be, I think, 2 wild cards coming out of the West. South, just the Titans. The North, I think, is spicy. I think you're onto something with Cincinnati, and I think we're going to get another team out of the East. To me, I really want to go with the Jets. I like the direction that team is going. I think they're a more complete team and a more complete younger team. So for that reason, I like the Jets. They're going to need all their guys and a total change of culture and attitude. I like the Jets.
Solid. So I have in my Super Bowl pick.
Yep.
I have Lamar finally. I think they owe Lamar an MVP, and a Super Bowl trophy. So the narrative is somehow going to get him there.
Yeah, I can see that, but to me, I do think that either him or Derek goes down, and then that is, to me, my gut tells me it's going to be heartbreak, where they're going to be so good and then just instantly come up short for health reasons, as opposed to bad play and losing a football game in which you don't punt because of Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson just vomiting the football all over the field between the two of those guys. That's why they lost. They were literally the better team in that entire game against the Buffalo Bills, and they never punted, and they lost. It's mind-blowing. Like, that is truly debate. I don't think things can go that well again. I mean, I am outside of sports, I invest, and I play blackjack, and I know how sinusoidal curves work. They work in real life as well. You're going to have, just as you have ups, you're going to have that many downs. And that's life. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs, and it's just going to go that way. And I think we've had a lot of ups with Baltimore, and I'm a little concerned about that. So I do think the AFC Championship is going to be Buffalo. They're a crazy complete team against possibly Denver, or a team that we're not quite thinking about. Maybe weird team like the Raiders shows up, or maybe the Cincinnati Bengals figure it out on defense and they make that noise. They'd be kind of cool. But I do kind of think that there is going to be a weird fourth team out of the AFC that I think the Titans make the playoffs, but I think the Titans aren't going to win their first game. So that's where I think that fourth team is going to come out of the woodwork and kind of be a dark horse to make some noise in that playoffs scenario. So for me, the team that wins and represents the Super Bowl, for me, narrative, I'm going Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's heartbreak right there.
It hurts.
Man,
for my Super Bowl pick, because now we're going on this, because you have the Ravens, and then NFC you have the Bucks, which is
I have the Packers.
Oh, you do?
Packers.
So for me, I have the Bills against the Packers, and I'm going to go with narrative again. I think at that point when we go team versus complete team, I'm going to take Buffalo on that point. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, would I like to see you guys win it? Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that it's kind of weird narrative, and every Super Bowl does have a narrative, and those teams actually tend to win at least almost all of the last handful of Super Bowls. I will pick Buffalo for that reason.
Well, I have a fantasy football draft in about 20 minutes here. So you just brought the whole show down as far as we could go.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I actually wanted to put Denver in the Super Bowl.
No, you put the Green Bay Packers up there, and then you said to me, "Hey, I got you," and then
I did. Woo! See ya. Yeah, that's that happens, man. But I'll tell you.
I'm going to say it before you ruin it and hurt my soul anymore.
I can look you up and I'll show you how.
Every single person that is watching right now should hit the subscribe button, or if you're listening, hit a subscribe button, or just send a comment. That's cool too. We'll answer all of them. We'll figure out how to log in or something. I don't know how this works, but we appreciate everyone watching and listening. And
hey, thank you.
Hopefully, I was going to say, we do thank you. Put your Super Bowl picks in the and don't just blow us up and say you're like, oh, Chicago Bears. We will throw you away. All right, no, we won't. We'll keep you here, but we'll make fun of you.
And tell us why. Like, same thing with us. Like, we're telling you why, kind of where we're coming from and what we're thinking. Give us a reason why you like that. And I'll pick you up, Triggs. Here's the fun
why metrics. Do you want to stab me in the heart?
No, because I kind of want to pull that knife out and in a very ethical way of repairing that. And I'm not good with medical stuff, so we'll have somebody else take care of that. But my feeling is that if I did all those divisional bets and I'm dealing with the NFL and we're getting to the later part of the year where other sports come alive, one of which just showed up yesterday, I also did some other certain fun parlays with multiple sports, in which case does involve a team that you and I definitely both root for in this city.
Oh.
Yes. So what I did was multi-sport round robin parlay. And this goes back to the story that kind of made the sports wave news about 3-4 years ago. Where a father-son duo picked the Rams, Colorado Avalanche, Denver Nuggets, and I believe the LA Dodgers to win those sports. They parlayed that, and they split either 5 or 6 figures. I think they split 6 figures. I think they won like $200,000.
What?
Yeah, I think they each got like $100K pre-tax out of that. So we talked about picks. Again, I think this is a year for Buffalo. I decided to go NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, and NBA. And NBA, I got like a weird feeling about, so I had to kind of do this thing twice. So NBA, I'm kind of split, but I love both these teams, and both these teams do reside in the West. So I'm going to play with both those teams because why not? So if I get any combination of these 4 teams, I make money. The more combinations, the greater this thing hockey sticks. So again, my pick in the NFL is the Buffalo Bills, which you greatly disagree with. So that is completely debate and legit. The team that I'm picking for the MLB is a team that you and I share, and this is where things get much better. We've been there. We've seen it. We think there is going to be more things coming. This feels like a really special season for us and our Milwaukee Brewers. And I've built a few World Series parlays as well between the Brewers against either the Detroit Tigers, Toronto Blue Jays, or Seattle Mariners. One of those 3 teams. Something weird like that. But I did a little cachet on that. So I have Buffalo. I have the Milwaukee Brewers. I have 2 more sports. The third sport I'm going with is college football because I've heard some really good things. I've seen this guy play a little bit, and I kind of know how recruiting kind of mixes up. And I like the odds, the payouts, kind of a little bit nice, kind of basically same odds as Buffalo, Milwaukee, and themselves. That's the Penn State Nittany Lions. It's an interesting year. We're in a weird transition in the Big Ten, how power has kind of left Ohio State, and we're kind of replenishing things in Oregon. So if Oregon's replenishing, Ohio State's replenishing. Third best team, there's no Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Got to go Penn State. And Big Ten is kind of the powerhouse conference in college football. So quarterback, I think he's the future quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Penn State is my third multi-sport pick. Fourth multi-sport pick, I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to go to, so I just made one of each. NBA. And this is a team that you've laid out clearly, and I love it. The LA Clippers. I love how well built that team is. I love the head coaching of that team. I really, really like the LA Clippers. Stupid deep, big money, great owner. I like them. And for me, if it's not kind of a heartfelt pick, but again, too, the way this team is built and how many players are on this team and how many teams could come back or how many players could come back healthy at the end of the year, Dallas Mavericks. So kind of like a red, white, and blue color mix of all these teams. But I do like Dallas and I do like LA. I just don't know which one to pick. And they're both in the NBA West. So those 4 leagues, NBA, NCAA football, Major League Football, and the NFL.
Solid. Very solid.
So might lose on all of them. It wasn't too expensive of a bet. Yeah, kind of fun to do that. I love doing the NFL divisional parlays. And then this was my first time doing a multi-sport parlay. So pretty fun.
Hey, that might be a way to end the show.
I think so, man. I think so. So again, we thank you all for sticking with us, watching this. That is no small feat. Lots of time that we spent here. Pretty cool stuff. Always love doing it. We're bringing it to you every week. We should be bringing it to you consistently every Monday at 7:00. So that's kind of what we're going for here. We're going to try to be here every 7:00 Central Time on a Monday. So that's what we're going for. Again, thank you. Subscribe, comment, let us know your Super Bowl picks. Hit us up on Twitter. Facebook should be active too. But hit us up where you can and leave your comments. And again, thank you. So I'm Steve Metrics. Yeah. That's your boy,
DJ Triggs.
And that's No Debate.